What's going on, guys? Too Fast Joe here, and I'm about to head off to go see the Sonic 3 movie. So these are like my predictions for the pre-movie, what I think, what might happen, and what I think that the end credits might be. I think the end credits could be Amy, and I think if they're gonna do a Sonic movie 4, I think they're gonna do like a Sonic CD where it's gonna be Amy and Metal Sonic. We're gonna do like some. I think they're gonna introduce like Little Planet. And so with that, they can also introduce time travel. So if they do a Sonic Movie 5, something could trigger in Sonic Movie 4 with the time travel that'll bring in Silver. Because they already have Iblis, which means Knuckles is going to be the Iblis trigger this time. So I think Sonic Movie 5 is going to be Silver, and Sonic Movie 4 will be Amy and Metal Sonic. What is going on, guys? Too Fast Joe here, and
Generation Defenders.
We just got back from watching the Sonic 3 movie. So for this first part, I think we should like talk about it chronologically and try to keep it spoiler free for for a few minutes and then go into spoilers. But like, what were your overall thoughts of the movie? Like, will you give it like a 9, 10, or something below that?
I would say definitely watch this over Mufasa. Like,
Oh yeah,
definitely
it's
watch
funny
this.
because all over Twitter, people are putting like the Rotten Tomato score, where it's like Sonic Movie 3 has like a 95, while Mufasa got like a 65.
Yeah, like that definitely tracks for me.
Yeah, it's
But
on a side note, that really sucks because The Lion King was like my childhood growing up. I grew up with The Lion King.
I feel bad if this was like, let's say, an actual sequel to The Lion King. Like, was an actual like sequel that they put their heart, soul, and tears into, and
The
they
sequel
really.
was a really good movie too, even though it was just a Romeo and Juliet ripoff type trope. It was still good.
Yeah, like it was good, but I guess like with what I'm trying to say is that with Mufasa, it's definitely a cash grab. They didn't put any effort into it. Like, look, the animators, it looks good. Like at least the CGI of the animals, it's good. But I mean, like, you have to admit, like, they didn't really care about the story
No,
at
but
all.
no, it's funny. That's what people wanted from like the original Sonic movie. They didn't want humans. They wanted all anthropomorphic animals. So there was when they heard like live action CG, they thought it would be something like Mufasa, would just have a live action landscape with CGI animals.
That's what I wanted too. Which, okay, so I don't know. Like, I would say that Sonic Movie 2 did a better job at just focusing on the Sonic Gang. But here, they're trying to focus a little too much on both the Sonic Gang and the humans. And unless, like, you're Robotnik, I don't care about the humans.
And that's what I like about Sonic Movie 3, because they focus really hard on Eggman. I keep wanting to call him Jim Carrey because let's be honest, this entire like his whole scene with him is Jim Carrey core. All right, because like this might be Jim Carrey like last movie role. You know, he retired air quotes after Sonic Movie 2, and he stated he'll come back if he likes the script, and I guess he liked the script for Sonic Movie 3, so he came back. So this could be his last like hurrah, which is like it's funny to think about that his last acting role is gonna be in a Sonic movie. But hey, like every scene that he was in was very much Jim Carrey core.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but that being said, it's like they tried, like I said, like they did a good job with Jim Carrey, or at least like Eggman, and even like it's not a spoiler. He's in the trailer, but like his grandpa.
Yeah,
But
Ivo Robotnik.
okay, but
No,
again,
not
they
Ivo.
tried,
Ivo is Eggman. Gerald Robotnik is his grandfather.
but again, like they tried to like bring in the humans, Tom and his wife. I don't care. I really don't. Do not care at all for Tom. In fact, like they try to make something like traumatic happen in the movie with the humans, and when that scene came in, I was like, no, I don't care. In
So
fact, I
the
kind of
thing
hope.
about with Tom and the other girl, they had like very little screen time, and it's the screen time that they did had was like impactful. It wasn't like in Song Movie 2 when you had to like take the camera away from the main character and then focus on this wedding scene. No, the moments that they had was impactful. They did drive the story forward. They didn't have to like stop the movie and be like, all right, this is what we're doing. Here's the B plot.
Oh yeah, like definitely. I would say that Sonic Movie 3 did a better job at like impleting the humans into the plot a lot better than the actual previous films. I mean, like Sonic Movie 1, it was basically like Tom's it was kind of like a basic like sequel that you would or movie you would see in like the early 2000s where it's like, oh, like this is the animated cartoon character that you grew up there in your childhood, but we're actually going to focus on like this really famous actor at the time, and we're mostly going to like follow his story, but the cartoon character will appear once in a while. So but then in Sonic Movie 2, since they had like a lot of money, they decided to actually focus on Sonic. And then Sonic Movie 3, it felt like a better balance
Yeah,
with
because like the B plot, when they got focused away from the animals to the humans, they focus on the one human that we actually care about, which is Eggman.
yeah. So I have to, like I said, like I have to admit, like it did a better job in Sonic Movie 3. But like I said, like I'm sorry, it's just I do not care about these human characters. I'm glad that they're getting smarter about using Tom and the wife as the movies goes on. Like technically, the sister and the
The
husband
husband.
are not in this movie. Like technically, they're not in this movie.
Yeah, no, remember this is like the spoiler-free portion.
Yeah, they're technically not in the movie. Which you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad that they just decided. Nah, Tom and the wife. That's they. Nobody cares about the other characters. They care about Sonic and Robotnik. So we're just going to have Tom and the
Yeah,
wife. So that's it. No more.
I will. Okay, so like I will say this. It's not much of a spoiler, but we do get a brief cameo from fucking what Wade Whipple.
Who's? Oh yeah.
Yeah, the main character in the Knuckles show.
Hmm. Yeah, like I actually went to the bathroom in that scene, so I didn't know what happened. So you talk about that one.
Well, we could talk about that in the spoiler section. Depending, like, if we're done with the spoiler, like, what would your Sonic experience like just for you, like the theater and everything? Because like for me, I got like the I went to like an AMC theater, and so they had a bunch of like Sonic merchandise. I got like a Shadow popcorn tin and like a bunch of other stuff too. And then, you know what's funny? In the back corner, there were a bunch of like Sonic fangirls.
Aw, that's cute.
And so when like there'll be like a scene with Eggman, Doctor Stone, and they're like, "Oh my God, they're boyfriends."
Yeah, that's kind of like how me and my friend were at the theaters too. We were the ones that were like, "Oh my god, they're boyfriends! Like kiss,
Yeah,
kiss! Is this the
yeah.
love
There'll be a
condition?
scene where like they're having like a rough patch, and they're like, "Oh no, don't break up."
Doomed Yowie, no!" So yeah, like okay, so look, I know like the movie in canon, this isn't supposed to be a romance, but I mean, like, come on, there's certain scenes that are like, you sure, you sure you guys aren't like more than secret friends. Like the part where like the guy is shaving Robotnik's hair. At one
He
point, he
he was
dipped him.
riding them.
He was riding him. He was even dipping him romantically. In fact, they were like mimicking scenes that they were watching from the telenovela that they were watching. So it's like, are you sure? You sure they're nothing more? Are you sure this was supposedly just platonic? The bullshit.
Yeah,
The bullshit.
and okay, and what do you think of Shadow? What do you think of fucking John Wick? What's his name?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Here's a fun fact. I never actually sat down and watched a Keanu Reeves film. You know, I never
Not
seen John Wick. I never seen The Matrix, and I never played Cyberpunk. So going into it, I didn't hear um fucking
John Wick.
Keanu Reeves because I wasn't familiar with like his work before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like the Mario movie where all I heard was Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I get it. All right, so like I think Keanu Reeves did like a good job with Shadow. It's just I wish he was in the movie more. Like I was actually surprised that Shadow wasn't in this movie as much as I thought he was going to be, because like I said, like I love Robotnik. I like Jim Carrey little duo purpose in this role, but I noticed that the movie was favoring more Jim Carrey and the grandpa than Shadow, and it kind of distracted me from that. It's like, and look, like I noticed that they're kind of doing what they were doing with the Knuckles in Sonic 2, where it's like he's supposed to be tough, serious, this really like badass character that challenges Sonic's strength, but he also has the silly side. In fact, it's basically like what they did was in Sonic 2. Like we have like this character, it's not familiar with Earth. He got tricked by Eggman to do all this. But the difference is that Shadow actually knows the plan. He's going with the plan. He's smarter and a bit more serious, but he's still going to joke around. He's still going to say like meme worthy funny bits, like, it's going to be revenge guac. Like, look, for me, it's like that's something that Knuckles would say in Sonic 2.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing with like this movie. Because like when we saw the first trailer, we thought, oh man, it's gonna be like super serious. And then when the second trailer came out, that's when Sonic started cracking up his jokes like, oh, you won't change here, yeah, in my lungs. I meant your heart. But like that sort of humor. And then when he said like Konnichiwa and like all these other like references to like other pop culture, at one point he brings up Godzilla and Hello Kitty and Detective Pikachu and other pop culture stuff. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is the humor, and I guess that affected Shadow too. Not so much. I think that revenge walk line was the only joke he would say.
hmm now what he was silly with Maria, but like that I can excuse
Yeah.
because like
Do you
it's
want
a
to get you
child.
want to get into like the spoiler territories from this point on?
Well, let's see what else. Oh, before we get to the spoilers, I do want to talk about the humor, or at least like my experience in the movie, and then we can go to spoilers.
Okay.
Okay, so I would say that in my theater, it was quiet. Like even like the moments where, they literally paused the movie so the audience would laugh. The audience did not laugh. Like if anything, you would hear a from the audience, but no one was like dying of laughter. Like let's say the movie was trying to make us, like, I think like there was one point where like something happens to a mountain and everyone is like in shock, and Sonic goes, somebody better call Google Earth, and there was supposed to be like a pause. Nobody laughed in that movie theater. I didn't laugh, my brother didn't laugh, my friend did not laugh. Nobody was laughing. It was just awkward silence. Like you could have a cricket in there to make it even more awkward. So, and I mean, like that's something that I've noticed in like the Sonic movies. It's like they want us to laugh at like let's say these pop cultures, but I think at this point we're sick of it. We're just sort of like sick of it. Like just give us like a little bit more better humor than
Yeah,
this.
because going in, well, like I said with the first trailer, I thought it would be more serious, and the second trailer it brought in that Sonic movie humor. I'm thinking, ooh, I forgot about that. So that some of the humor, it very much hit or miss. If it's like if you get the reference, it might be funny, but if you don't get the reference, it's like okay,
But the
yeah,
thing is that even if you do get the reference, it's not like, oh my god, that's hilarious. Like it's not enough to make the theater laugh.
there was one in Sonic Movie 2 when they were talking about how the echidnas and the owls have been fighting for decades. Sonic says, just like Vin Diesel and The Rock. And everyone in the theater started belly laughing because that was ha 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 ha. Even I saw that because, like, yeah, that's pretty funny.
In my theater, it was no, nobody laughed in my theater.
No,
It was
no,
more
no, what joke really got me?
what?
Well, I guess, I guess we'll like get into spoiler territories now with this joke right here. Spoilers going forward. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. If you already seen it, stick around. If you don't care about spoilers, welcome. There was this joke, where Doctor Ivo, when the older Eggman, Gerald Robotnik. They got captured by the by Gun, and the leader of the Gun in this one was a female. And the old man was like, a woman in the military.
Okay, when that happened, I literally went, "Hey, yo!" I was the only person that reacted in the
No,
theater.
I started laughing. Everyone else started laughing, and, and then my cousin next to me like, really, that's the joke that got you belly laughing.
Oh yeah, like definitely. That would definitely get
I
you.
like dark humors, and it makes sense for an old man to say that, especially he been locked up for 50 years.
Yeah, he wouldn't have known that. It's just I was not expecting that whatsoever, but I have to admit it was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
because like nowadays you can't make jokes about that, but he could get away with it because he's an old man.
Yeah, it's funny. It is funny. Let's see. Oh, the one that actually got me was when um the Eggman and his grandpa are fighting, and the grandpa like pulls out like this really big hand, but then you cut back to him and he's spanking him. He's like, "What did I tell you? You do not disobey me." Like that
I feel
got
like
me.
that whole fight sequence went way too long and was way too goofy. Like I said, like these villains do not seem they're not the stereotypical like I'm going to destroy the world. Like Shadow was the only like serious character there. But these, especially with like the goofy scenes that they had later on with the VR scene and the dance scene and the fight scene, all of it was just really goofy.
Yeah, for me, like it was the dance scene for with the grandpa and Robotnik that was just way too long. It's like
Because
I
on
guess
one hand, I say, okay, this is Jim Carrey having fun. This is going to be his last hurrah. But at the same time, this is just padding out time. Like the VR scene and the fight scene, okay, we can keep that in for comedic sake. But the dance scene with the lasers, that was just padding out time for no reason. I could have done without it.
like there was a dance scene in like all the movies now that now that I think about it. Like in the first movie, like Jim Carrey was dancing by himself.
And
But I mean,
he
like,
was on that pole grind.
yeah, but like you could say that he's just having fun. Like he was just by himself. It's kind of like you're by yourself, so you decide to act goofy, just having fun by yourself.
Yeah, that's what he did with his belly.
Yeah. And then like in Sonic movie 2, they did have to do like that little dance battle, but even then like that was supposed to like help build the bond between like Tails and Sonic. That was supposed to like help them like get closer as friends.
Yeah, and then you gotta have Bruno Mars in there. That was a song that they used, right?
I don't know, I forgot what song they used.
I believe it was Bruno Mars. I could be wrong.
I really don't remember, but I mean like in this scene where it's like, it really is just padding out time, and honestly it was just really distracting.
Yeah,
And
it was fourth wall breaking because like the other two dances, those happen in like quote unquote reality. Eggman just dancing away, and then the dance scene that happens for them to like get respect of those Russian bartenders or whatever. And this one, it just feels like you're breaking the fourth wall. Where did that music come from?
yeah, it's just
And they really did break the fourth wall when like, man, we're so similar as if we're the same person in a movie.
mhm. You see, like that was supposed to like get everyone to chuckle, which my
It
theater
did.
did.
It did. It got the chuckling from my end.
Yeah, I did get the chuckling from my end, and it didn't really make me chuckle that much. It was just me. It's just really me for me. Like the honestly, like the humor in these Sonic movies, maybe it's because like I'm old, but it's just really, really meh. I get what they're trying to do, but it's just meh.
Yeah,
Especially like
cause like
Sonic.
how young is the demographics? Cause like some of these jokes just seems like they weren't even trying that much.
For me, it's like especially with Sonic, he'll I don't know like what you call it, but like he'll say something like, "Oh, they can't take us all at once. He took us all at once. Oh, you think we're stupid enough to actually carry the key? Yes, we are stupid enough. Oh, what's that stupid little device going to do? Oh no, it's actually not a stupid advice." Like that's basically all his humor. is throughout this movie. It's like he'll say something, he'll set up a joke, and then he'll just repeat what he said, but just admit that he was wrong. But he'll just say it like this, like scream it. It's gotten so repetitive lately. And again, like nobody in the theater is laughing anymore. So it's like, come on, just give us something new. Like,
Yeah, like I'm not a comedic, so I'm not sure like what kind of style that they should go for, but it shouldn't be this. Just references after references and doing the same joke over and over. So since we're already in the spoilers, let's like start from the beginning. Shadow busts out of prison island. He skates on the water, and then we cut back to Sonic and friends. They get like Sonic's Earth anniversary when he appeared on Earth. We get a heart to heart with Tom and Sonic. That'll come back later on in the movie. And then Gun shows up, tell Team Sonic that we have a mission for them, and they go off, find Shadow in Tokyo. Um, real quick, I feel like the pacing in this movie was kind of fast paced. Ironic for Sonic, but well, I say typical for Sonic, whatever. But like, there was a scene at the Child Guarding cafe or whatever where like the old man gun agent, he dies, but I feel like that was really rushed. Don't am I crazy? Because I feel like here's the key, blah. All right, next scene.
yeah, it was. It's like usually these types of usually when a story wants to confirm someone is dead, they'll actually like give them, like the characters some time to actually mourn them. But in this, it's like, oh my god, you died, and then he went blah. So in my mind, I thought like, oh well, maybe he's going to show up again. Like maybe this is going to be a fake out, and he saves everybody in the end. But no, like the other gun agents come in, and they're like, oh, he's dead. So I was like, oh wow, like they really did not care for this character at all, did they?
Yeah, and then before that we get the fight with Shadow, and Shadow gets on his motorcycle, and he has like a little like taser gun. He only had that bike for like maybe less than 3 minutes. Mainly because like A is a reference to the video games, and B, you gotta sell merch. Cause if you go to Walmart, Target, you'll see Shadow toys with his motorcycle, so kids will be like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Hmm. Let's see. Oh, okay, so we were all kind of like joking that we couldn't wait for the audience to cheer when Maria gets gunned down, but she didn't actually get gunned down. She got exploded.
Yeah, so I feel like they really toned down that part. Even people on Twitter before the movie release was saying, "Do not clap for when this child gets shot," because I think during the Sonic Symphony, people started clapping when they saw the scene with Maria.
And it was very disrespectful to them.
No, I think it was funny at the time because it was nothing but Sonic fans in the symphony. But in the movie theater where they're gonna be normies, people don't want to. It'd be really awkward for people to be clapping at this child canon event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess they didn't want to do that, which is okay. They found other ways to do it, which explosion.
That's what I've noticed in like media now. It's like we can't really. The only way you can kill a kid is explosion. That's the only way.
Yeah, and because the other way is too true to life, unfortunately. And so going back to Maria and Shadow, like this whole movie, I feel like so in this movie there's a lot of montages. We got the montage with Eggman and his grandfather, and then later on we got a montage with Shadow and Maria. I feel like they want to like pack a lot of things in this movie, and so they just have to like put in montages to like fill in the gaps.
Yeah. Eh, but for me, it's like there's certain montages that I felt like could have been cut out so we could get more Shadow. Like this was his movie. Like I feel like we got a little bit more with Knuckles, or like we had more time with or if we weren't focused on Knuckles, we were focused on Sonic and Tails and developing friendship.
We had
And
more focus on Eggman and that comedic duo, mainly because I think it's Jim Carrey's last film, and plus like that whole scene with like the montage of like them having like Christmas and Halloween and all that other stuff. It was funny, but also like I said, it took away from Shadow and like other stuff because they want to put so much into this movie, make you feel for Shadow. I did like no, I do like when Maria had her skates, and that shows Shadow skates because of Maria.
Aw, is that a thing in the video games?
No, so I'm not sure how much of this is like because like in the video game, Shadow was made to cure diseases. He was made to cure Maria's disease. That's why Maria is on the space station and not on Earth.
Oh, but like, oh yeah, because in the movies, it's more they explain that. Oh well, she's just really close to her grandpa.
Yeah, I don't think they ever brought up her disease or anything because if she, because like in the video games, we see Maria in like in a wheelchair or like whenever she exerts herself, she'll like go limp.
Ah, I see. No, like in this one, she's actually a very energetic, sweet girl. Um,
Yeah.
the way okay, so like the here in the movie, they said that they're trying to take Shadow away from us, and then he's trying to escape with the two. But then tragedy happens. What happened in the video game?
So in the video game, after Gunn realized like with all like the experiments going on in the arc with Project Shadow, with Emerald, with the Eclipse cannon, they were feared that Gerald would like doing something evil, so they want to shut down everything. So they were like taking prisoners and killing the rest. And when Maria was trying to like save Shadow, one of the gun agents shot Maria and right in front of Shadow.
I see. I see. Okay, so okay, that I guess like makes a little bit more sense in like the video game lore, but like in the movie lore, I guess it makes sense too. Yeah, I guess they didn't want to like put a little too much in the movie, which I do respect. Like in other movies, they will try to like already try to build up their universe.
Yeah, because Shadow wasn't really intended to be a weapon in the video games. He was made to like cure diseases. You see that in like the more recent like animation of Sonic X Shadow Generation, where Shadow says, "I was meant to cure all diseases, but I'm not doing that." Whatever he said, he was saying how I should have been like cured you by now.
Mm-hmm. But I guess like well, I don't know. For me, it makes a little bit more sense in the movies because like he's supposed to be the ultimate life form. He's you know made to be a weapon. That makes a bit more sense for me, at least in the movies. Like he's a weapon, and instead of like using him for medicine, it doesn't really make sense for me. Like maybe I have to like know more about the games to really understand like why they would do that. But for me, like having him just be like a weapon makes a lot more sense for me.
Yeah, I guess like and yeah, I guess his powers couldn't be controlled, and so they try to like seal him away. Yeah, so if Shadow gets his own TV show or his own special, I would like for it to be with like Black Doom and the on Dark Arms, because like why is Shadow a hedgehog? Why was he sent to Earth? He clearly has powers, and maybe what they explain to it with Black Doom. Are there other anthropomorphic shadows like him? Are there other hedgehogs? Are they gonna be like a fox shadow? Are they gonna be like an echidna shadow?
It's also noted that in this movie, it's funny. Like Dragon Ball Evolution didn't do Dragon Ball at all accurately, but Sonic Movie 3 actually did give us a very accurate Dragon Ball Z like fight.
Oh my
With
god, you want to skip to that? Because yeah, 'cause I
Yep,
think that's the only thing that matters at this point is the super fight.
that was just perfect. Like that is just everything about it was perfect. Like even when he like Shadow like was so strong he punched the super out of Sonic, and then they both go super, and it just becomes a Dragon Ball Z fight. It
That
was
was so
perfect.
good. Like that was like the best super fight I've ever seen. because like I was spoiled with Super Shadow one from McDonald's. Thanks McDonald's, you spoiled the movie for me again because they have a Super Shadow toy. And then at the AMC theater, they had a bucket, like a shadow bucket, and if you turn the bucket around, it's Super Shadow.
Mm.
So that was spoiled. But still, that fight scene was so good. Because first it started off with like, okay, so Sonic, he did slightly go into the dark side after Tom get punched by Shadow. Which was like, can we talk about that real quick? Like, yes, Shadow punched the shit out of him, but it didn't feel like he was gonna die.
No, I don't know. Like Sonic, I mean, like Shadow is really, really strong. And honestly, I'm one of those people that want Tom to die. I wanted him to be like the Uncle Ben to Sonic, but
Yeah, because that will show that Sonic and Shadow lost someone. The only difference is Shadow changed while Sonic didn't.
yeah, and exactly like it was funny because we did talk about this. Like we even said we were theorizing, oh, wouldn't it be cool if like Tom died or something happened to Tom, making like Sonic get angry, gets his dark side, and then he goes and confronts Shadow about it, and Shadow says like, "Oh, you and I are not as different as we think. We are similar. You're just like me." And exactly what we were theorizing happened in the movie. Everything
And
was
pretty much, Shadow basically said everything you just said. Like, you lost someone and you abandoned your friends. What kind of hero does that? What was his name again? Tom. Punches
yeah,
them to the fucking moon.
yeah, it's like everything was like, to the point. Like this is a really, really good scene. It's just the thing is that two things disappointed me. Um, Tom survived. I
Yeah,
was like,
and the
what?
punch,
No.
yes, Shadow punched really hard, but I feel like Tom should have gone through like several walls or like falling off the building or something. Cause like that punch didn't feel like he was on the brink of death. At least have like a hole or like have like burn marks, have his like shirt be on fire or like have a hole somewhere. But like it needs to be more impactful if it feels like, oh, he is dead or he's gonna die.
Yeah, yeah. For me, like I didn't realize it because like I was hoping and praying, like, oh, no more Tom, no more Tom. Is Tom like finally dead? Like we don't have to deal with him anymore. Like,
Yeah.
look, I'm not like that's mean. Like he's not a bad guy. It's not like he's evil or annoying. It's just I don't want the humans. Like they're pointless. Like just kill them off. We don't care about them.
Yeah, if Sonic gonna be a hero, he can't have two parents.
He really can't. It's like, all right, at this point it's like let the wife have a chance. Like, this Sonic movie 4 could be her moment to be Aunt May. The
Yeah,
Aunt May.
go boss or whatever.
Yeah, like let her be the girl boss, especially since like ooh, what happens in the end credits.
We'll get to that eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, the punch should have been more impactful. Should have gone through walls. He should have, have something that felt more impactful. And then later on, we go in the space colony, and then we get this Sonic goes a bit darker. Taking the Master Emeralds, going super, tracking down. Um, he grabs Shadow from space and like choke slams on back down to Earth, and that's what I really like. This like world like from space to the Earth to the moon, back to Earth, back into space. This super fight was so cool. Like this is something like Dragon Ball Z has rarely done. Like they did it in Battle of God, and they did a little bit of that in GT with Super 17. But like this whole planetary fight, that is so cool.
Yeah, like that's something that I wish, like I said, like it does feel very Dragon Ball Z-ish, but like they go like above and beyond. It's like you can tell that they're inspired by Dragon Ball Z, which no shit, it's supersonic, but it is they were inspired, but they go farther and beyond to like, put their own twist on it, and it makes sense. Like, like when people say that, oh, Goku versus Sonic, like I never really got how Sonic would actually be a threat to Goku, but now that looking at this fight scene, I'm like, okay, I definitely see why people would like put him up against Goku now, because like we only saw like Goku do those things in GT, when he's in Super Saiyan 4 and Sonic's doing this in Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
Or like
because
his
like remember, he punched him to the moon. All right. Anytime like Goku with his blue could like punch people like a football field away, but like punching them to the moon.
yeah, so it's like okay, like Sonic would at least like movie Sonic would definitely give Goku a run for his money, or at least like yeah, I'll say that. I'll say it.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
God, that fight was so good. And then like so like the heart to heart when Shadow has a change of heart. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. For
Again,
me,
I feel like it was a bit too rushed because like in the actual game, Shadow he wanted revenge and he had a bit of an amnesia. And then when Amy came to Shadow saying how yes there are bad people but some people are good, and she was giving her a speech, and then Shadow remembered what Maria's last words were. It was like protect the world that I loved, like, and stuff like that. And they were like, oh shit, I was supposed to be a good guy.
yeah, so
With this one, it was just you lost someone and you didn't change because of it. Like, how did you get over it? I learned they are more. I learned that friendship is more powerful than pain.
you see, for me, it's like with Knuckles, like they did the exact same scene as they did in Sonic movie 2. Like to the point where it's like Sonic spared a villain and then the villain decides to, save him. Or like, he spared him. Like they no longer were fighting each other and then they realized the error of their ways and then they decided to redeem themselves. But I mean like with in Knuckles' case, Sonic actually did like save him and then Knuckles came and like saved Sonic,
And
and then they,
because Knuckles was gullible at the time, he wanted the Master Emerald, and he thought Eggman was gonna help him, and that Sonic was gonna stop him. And then when he got betrayed by Eggman, he realized no, he's the bad guy, and I guess this blue rodent is the good guy. But with Shadow, he knew what he was doing the whole time. He
yeah,
wanted the
exactly.
plan to blow up. He wanted his revenge. And then with his heart to heart, he remembered like what Maria was like, and the light shines even though the star is gone, which is like a really good scene. I really do like that line.
It's a good scene, but like we needed a little bit more like scenes where Shadow is sympathetic, or maybe he's like,
We had that one scene when Sonic saw Tom, and he had a flashback to him and Maria.
yeah, but then again, like later on in the scene where he's like fighting Sonic, he's like, oh, what was that man's name? Tom. That's a villain line. That's not, oh, like I'm sympathetic or like I feel a little bad for what I did. He knew what he said and he like went for it. So it's like, no, like
Yeah, he
that's
even
not,
mocked them. It's like, you left your friends. What kind of hero are you?
yeah. So it's like, so when they did this sort of heart to heart thing, it's like very, like even like Knuckles, he was like, Hedgehog, why did you save me? And like they're throwing stuff at each other. And then Knuckles eventually threw something really big at Sonic to like knock him down. It's like if Knuckles was like this, who was more gullible, like he was more of a sympathetic villain than Shadow was, but you know again, like if Shadow was more gullible, then yeah, I would understand why he would turn this quickly. But at the same time, he knew what he was doing. He knew that he was going to destroy the Earth. In fact, he was telling the the assistant, "We're going to destroy the Earth." So, like, why suddenly now? Because one person showed him mercy.
Like,
He's like,
if they
"Oh,
had that scene
ready."
from the video game as well, where Maria was like, protect this planet and stuff like that, then maybe okay, that would be a better explanation for him to be like turn on a dime because like, oh shit, this is not what Maria wanted. I am dishonoring her memory.
Like Maria, even though like, I like that she's a cute kid. I like how she's like skating, she's like playing with Shadow and they're being besties. She's a real cutie in this movie. But I mean like the way that the video games, because I do remember a little bit of her in Sonic X, but I felt like she actually made more of an impact on me there and a more impact on Shadow because it's exactly what you said. Like, you have to protect the Earth. Here, Maria is more like, oh, well, let's just have fun. It's more like, have fun. I'm going to be like, your friend since, like, you're working all the time. I'm going to show you, like, the fun side of humanity or, like, being here. But there's nothing that Maria does or shows Shadow why he should be attached to the Earth or why he should, save the Earth. So that is an issue that this version of Maria has. Like, she really is just sort of the cute kid that dies to justify Shadow's villain role.
Yeah, they needed more with her. Like, cut out some of Jim Carrey's lines. Sorry, he was really good, but we needed more time with Maria. And again, having the scene where like Shadow protect this planet, that would make more sense when Shadow turns on a dime.
Yeah, it's just we really did. Honestly, like we needed to cut that montage with the grandpa and Jim Carrey. We needed to cut out the dance scene that
Their
they did.
first interaction went on way too long.
We really did.
Like
Cut
the trailer did it better. When it's like it couldn't be. Is it? Could you, Papa, in the saggy flesh? Just have that. But all the stuff in between, like that went on way too long.
It was filler. It's like there's so much of this that you could have cut to either put more Shadow or to put more like Sonic's bond with his friends. Like another thing that I've noticed is that I kind of forgot that Sonic and Tails are best friends. Like I kind of forgot that they actually had like a bond. Because in Sonic movie 2, like I did feel like they were, becoming best friends. This one, it's like, no, I do not at all believe that they're besties. I
Yeah,
kind of
with this one, they were trying to figure out how to be a team, and you saw how they were like tears in that teamwork once Tom bit it.
but I mean like Sonic and Tails did not have an issue getting along or being a team in Sonic 2. So why suddenly now they're having issues? Like with Knuckles I could understand, but like even Knuckles like chilled the fuck out.
People had that problem in like the 2010s in the Sonic games. Because Sonic would just leave Tails to like do like science stuff, but when it came to like the big bad stuff, he'll just like abandon Tails to like go to safety. Tails, get out of here. I'll do this.
So I guess
and Sonic Colors, Sonic Lost World, was like really bad for like were really bad for like Sonic and Tails dynamic, and then they try to Tails does confront his weakness in Sonic Frontiers. How he said, I have always been like weak recently, and then Sonic had to be like, oh no, who saved Station Square? Who saved himself from the Zeddies and stuff like that. But like he's like really inconsistent in the games. He even says that verbatim. But I guess they're just in this movie they want to show how there are cracks in their teamworks, but how you mend the cracks is what makes you a team.
Yeah, it's just they did not really feel like the characters. Like that meme where it's like the villain, how strong the villain is when during the final battle, and then meanwhile when you unlock him as a playable character, like that meme.
Oh, I think I know what you mean. Like the final boss, and when you get them, they're kind of like weak.
Exactly. That's how I feel when it comes to Tails and Knuckles. It's like when in Sonic movie 2, like I felt like they were actually like threats, like they were actually like useful characters. But now in Sonic movie 3, it's like not really. Like they do have like their moments, but it's like I feel like the power scaling with Tails and Knuckles is went down a lot. So
Yeah,
didn't.
I mean Knuckles. Okay, here's a plot hole. So like, when they went to Gun HQ, they had that barrier that's supposed to incinerate you. So one, Sonic could essentially stop time with his Quicksilver moment. All right, he could run fast, so fast that the barrier won't have time to close up. I thought the barrier was always up; it was just invisible, and that's why he couldn't like go in. But no, they had to activate the barrier, and the barrier is closed. If he's doing his Quicksilver moment where he stops time, he just zooms right in. And then with Knuckles later on, he just busts through the whole thing, even though it didn't incinerate him.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that too when that happened. I was like, wait, what? Like, are they going to explain why Knuckles? If anything, like, why didn't Knuckles they just sent Knuckles. This could have been his time to shine.
Also, the lady gun agent, why was she evil?
I don't know. It's because she was racist. That's why. She was racist against the aliens.
I guess because she did address them as like aliens and said what their names were, but like maybe I have to go back and watch it again. But like I don't know why. Like, was she evil or was she just a part of Gun?
What was her plan? What was her motivation?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, did she just act evil, or was she? Am I just like reading in between the lines here? Was she just like protecting Gun? Because I don't know. Because like kind of weird. Because I doubt she's gonna be like the next villain in the next movie.
Nah, she's not at all memorable.
No, her last scene was like, here's the key, because she got fooled by Tom when like this guy's like, all right, here's the key, bye now.
Yeah, it's like I thought like she was going to like appear again and be like, wait a minute, I've been bamboozled, everyone after them. But
yeah,
no.
it's kind of weird. Maybe I'm reading, maybe she's not a villain, maybe I just read into it wrong, but it's kind of weird.
Well, the thing is that they kind of try to set her up that, oh, well, maybe she is a little double crossed. Like, she has ulterior motives. But they never really explained why she would have ulterior motives.
Yeah. I guess let's talk when they were on the moon again. And they went super for the second time, and we got Live and Learn.
Oh yeah, like my brother who's a Sonic fan, was freaking out. I was like, oh, I guess this is from the games.
Yeah. I showed you the Japanese version of Sonic X when they used Live and Learn, because Live and Learn, if I'm Sonic Adventure 2, where Shadow debuted at, which is the final song in the game. But yeah, it was so hype when like they high five and they lock hands and went super. And like, I know it's like a bit of a cheesy moment, but Sonic is all about cheese. I don't care. That was a really hype moment when he saw it here in Live and Learn. And then fucking when he said "gotta go fast," you have a catchphrase, yeah, and everyone loves it. Looks at the camera, pauses for laughter, and then after the Live and Learn sequence, we cut back to Jim Carrey fighting himself in a gag fight. Then I do like they had like when Sonic and Shadow were like coming towards the arc, he releases the gun robots from SA1 from SA2, and then we get this another really cool fight sequence between like Sonic and Shadow teaming up against the gun robots, and like this really cool like choreography, like get the chaos spears and everything. It was like a really really good super fight. And then after that, then like how Gerald dies. Remember that?
Oh yeah, it's like that was so hilarious but anticlimactic at the same time, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, like that's the type of humor that in that movie that I think they nailed it right there. Where you think, oh, you think it'll be like the giant fireball? No, it was literally a bug zapper noise, like beep.
Yeah, it's like that's when the humor actually works, because that actually got the theater to actually laugh. It's like, yes, finally good humor.
Yeah, and they use Eggman had Sonic Quill, and the grandfather had Shadow Quill. I guess they were just taking hits off of the quills, because I guess they were just doing that. And then when he got Super Sonic's quill and like stuck it up his beehole, and that's how he got launched into like the bug zapper.
Yeah, like that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was like good comedic.
Yeah, and then like Jim Carrey sacrifices himself, and I was hoping, praying that this was going to finally be the love confession between the doctor and his henchmen.
He kind of did, where it's like, I'll miss your goat milk because I love the way you make them.
No, No, you say you love him. You love him. Him. Like, Jesus Christ.
I so throughout this whole movie, I thought he would say, "I come to make an announcement," because that's another meme in the Sonic franchise from fans dubbing over Sonic Adventure 2 when he pissed on the moon.
Oh yeah, that's what my friend and my brother were talking it to me about. And I did see the meme and I was like, "Oh, that's what you talk about."
But so what I do, I really like the ending overall. With so they stopped the Eclipse Cannon. It was gonna blow up. Shadow was moving the Eclipse Cannon away from Earth, and Eggman had to like stall. And he had to sacrifice himself, which is I thought was like a really good moment, not only for like the end of Eggman but also the end of Jim Carrey's career, maybe.
Maybe, but like if because Jim Carrey says that he is retired, but he maybe will come back if he needs extra money.
Yeah.
But the thing is that look, like Sonic movie 3, I get why he would be in the movie so much if this really was like his final hurrah. But I mean, he did say like, "Well, I'm willing to come back." But if Sonic movie 4, it's time to just focus on, either the all the minor characters that they have.
There
Right?
is one way on how he would come back.
What?
I might get canceled for this, but yeah, listen very carefully. There is a other dimensional Eggman called
Oh,
Eggman. Yeah.
that-
I'm not gonna say it. I'll put up a clip of the announcer from the Olympic Games saying it right here. Eggman nigga. All right, so that's what he says. That is the evil. That is the more evil Eggman from Blaze's dimension. But I guess we could talk about the end credits now. Also, Tom lives. He just has like a broken arm.
I just wanted one good thing in my life. What about a good movie? Would you believe me if I said that this was more important?
But yeah. So in the beginning, right before I went to go watch this movie, I put up my post prediction. Maybe I already put it up in the beginning of this video. But I put up my post prediction saying like, my prediction is that Amy and Metal Sonic are gonna be at the end to set up Sonic CD. And I hope someone picks up that phone.
Because you fucking called it.
That's right, boys. We're getting Sonic CD. We got so at the end credits, I was thinking, okay, what's it gonna do? Is it gonna be Metal Sonic? Is it gonna be Amy? Is it gonna be Silver? And then we got to see Metal Sonic comes in from the heavens, trying to assassinate Sonic with a blast. Sonic evades because he's the fastest thing alive, and then we see more glowing lights as a whole army of Metal Sonic. But who comes in to save the day?
Amy.
Baya. Amy freaking Rose comes in and saves the day, all right? And I highly doubt they're gonna do like the damsel in distress in this one, like they did in Sonic CD, because that's too 90s core, because like even in the Mario movie, Princess Peach was like barely a damsel. She was like the girl boss or whatever.
And
With
even
this,
when it did get caught, she saved herself.
yeah. And the only reason she let herself get caught because the Toad got caught.
Yeah.
But so with this one, yes, Amy comes in with a spin dash. Her hammer takes out the entire metal army because she had like this cloak on. She takes it off, and bam, we get movie Amy.
She's adorable. I love her. She's like an adorable little thing. I mean, like with her introduction, I don't think she is going to be the damsel in distress. Like the way that she was this badass, I really doubt it. Like they already established she can defend herself.
Here's my prediction of what Sonic CD is gonna be like in Sonic Movie 4 and how they're gonna adapt CD. I think it's gonna involve time travel because that's how it worked in Sonic CD. You had the time stones, that could you could have to go into past and future to get like the proper good ending. So I'm thinking, these Metal Sonics are from the future, and that they came here in the past to kill Sonic. And then Amy, it must be a part of some sort of resistance, and she came back in time to stop the Metal Sonics from killing Sonic. I think that's the plan. Who if there is time travel, I feel like Silver might be involved. They might drop him to like be like, all right, here's this other character, but they might save him like Sonic Movie 5 if they're gonna involve time travel. But yeah, I feel like Amy is gonna be from the future in this one.
Mm.
Yeah, that's why you have like mechanized Sonic.
I see. I see. Um. Now, some people have been theorizing, even though like she only appeared for a few seconds, that she may not be simping for Sonic anymore. Sonic could be simping for her this
Yeah,
time.
I feel like the roles might be reversed in this one. Whereas like I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about that.
Didn't they do that for Sonic Prime?
Kind of, because Sonic did flirt a little bit with Amy in Sonic Prime. I forgot what line that he said, but he did give Amy the dreamy eyes.
But I hear that in that version, Amy actually didn't have a crush on him. Like she saw him more like you're my friend.
So in that one, like base Amy barely got any screen time. Like it would focus more on like the other timelines of Amy that didn't have Sonics.
Yeah, because like Amy, there's like a lot of timelines where Amy actually didn't were enemies with Sonic, and I actually respect that.
Yeah, I did like the fight with Sonic and Rusty Rose. And I was like, oh wow, I never thought I would see a fight with Sonic and Amy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. But like throughout the entire history, Amy had always sent for Sonic, even in Sonic Boom when it was like more subtle, and eventually they did become a couple in Sonic Boom. With this one, I'm not sure. Maybe she will like fall in love with Sonic, but it won't be right away. Also, I'm hoping she will have psychic powers in some sort, like with her tarot cards. Cause in Sonic CD, the way she finds out about Sonic is that she used her tarot cards to read out, you will find, I think it was like you'll find your true love or something at Little Planet, and that's why she went to Little Planet. Because the cards told her you'll find your love there.
I see. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Like, I personally wouldn't mind if the roles were reversed. I wouldn't mind if Sonic was the one simping for her. But here's the thing, like the issue that people have with Amy isn't the fact that she's a simp. It's the fact that she became obsessive and she became creepy to the point where it's like she's done things where it's like either considered SA or you could also consider it like it a stalking. So look,
So
if
I think stuff like that, like back in the day when a girl is like super simping over a boy, they thought it as comedic. Hell, look at the Cankers from Ed and Eddie. You know, if the
yeah.
roles were reversed, that would not fly. And then look at Panini and Chowder. The same thing. If the roles were reversed, that would not fly.
Oh, believe me, like I'm actually doing like a Donnie series on my channel right now, and you would be surprised how a lot of Donnie fangirls will defend him, saying like, "Oh well, actually, what he's doing is actually kind of cute," or I mean, like it's not that bad, especially since April is so annoying and leading him on. It's like, shut the fuck up, like you stupid you're no, like this isn't and what's stupid is that some of these fangirls will even say like, "Oh, it's double standard." Like exactly like how you said like, "Oh, if a girl does it, it's funny, but if a boy does it, it's creepy." But this isn't a situation where it's like, "Oh, well, if the other gender can do it, then so can I." This is a situation where it's like nobody should be doing this at all. Like this should just be seen as what it is. Bad, stalking. Like don't do it.
Yeah,
And
because like in CD, the card said that you'll find your true love, and that's how she found Sonic. It could be a thing where like, oh, it was blind love, like after you get to know him, but maybe he's not the one. But she does know Sonic, she befriends him, and she does fall in love with him. But here, maybe her fortune be like, oh, this is how I found you, and then through the teamwork, she develops a crush on Sonic. Like, oh, hey.
well, okay, so here's the thing, like who if they're going to do a simp, look, I don't mind simp characters, but like they can't be creepy. Like there's a difference between like an innocent simp than an actual creep. Like, for example, like again, going back to my Donnie series, Donnie from 2012, I'm leaning more that he's a creep. But then you have like Leo from Mutant Mayhem. In the movie, he also has a crush on April, but he doesn't do anything creepy for her. Like he does simp for her, but he's not creeping on her. Like he's not as obsessed or doing anything that creepy with
Yeah,
her. So
yeah,
like that.
because the best Sonic Amy, in my opinion, would have to be like Sonic Boom, because like they do cute stuff. They do like each other the same way. Like in Sonic Boom season one, Sonic will get jealous if someone says like Amy likes someone else or she's going on a date with someone else. Then later on, they do end up dating. They just keep it a secret from everyone else, but everyone else already knows that they're dating.
Yeah,
So it would be cool or like cute to actually see like this relationship develop both ways.
that's what I think I would prefer. Like I know like if you want Sonic to simp for Amy this time, like an actual full reverse, okay, like that's fine. That's your opinion. But for me, I would rather like have them both like fall in love with each other naturally. Like see them both like reciprocate their feelings for each other,
And
and then
and
maybe by the end, it's like they are boyfriend and girlfriend.
and don't do the thing that I hate in romance when when a boy character tried to act different to impress the girl. When he
Ah,
goes
that
up to other people like, "Hey, how do I do this?" Like, "Oh, you gotta do this." Like, okay. "Hey, baby, what's up?"
I
Like,
hate that
that
too.
stuff cringes so hard, and I feel like they would do that because this movie with this humor is kind of cringy.
I
But
know.
the way I could see it is that she Amy falls in love with Sonic with his heroicism, and maybe he's also quote unquote funny to her, and then Sonic can fall in love with Amy because she's also heroic.
Yeah, she's heroic. She saved him. She's pretty fast, and like she's pretty. She's cute. She's a little cutie. So she,
And
I mean,
I
like this.
want, and again, I want her to have her rage moments. All right, I
Yeah.
want to see the fire. I want to see that firecracker. I want to see the crazy bitch that is Amy Rose.
Yes, that's what I loved about her in Sonic X. It's like yeah, she is like a typical damsel in distress. I definitely agree with that. But like, God forbid she gets mad. Like even like Eggman knows better than to make her angry or like to push her too far because then he like starts getting worried. At one point, she like charged him into the ocean, and he's like, "Oh
I
shit!"
want this. I want a moment where like Amy has to come save Sonic from something, and she just yells out, "Don't you hurt my Sonic!" And like she just gives out this like the vitriol scream, and she just goes on a rampage.
Yeah, like I want that. I want to see that.
Yeah,
I want to see
I want
that.
that scene from Sonic X on the during the ocean episode.
Mhm.
I want something like that. Just really like badass Amy moment to show that she could like be the hero too. But try not to push too much of the girl boss stuff. Don't make her a Mary Sue like with Princess Peach. All right, that was really annoying. Have her
Yeah.
have flaws. Have her get saved. Make her as equal as the other heroes.
Hmm. It's just the thing is that usually, well, I don't like I said, like my big complaint with with Sonic 3 is that we barely had Shadow, but usually like when a new character pops up, like it is focused on them. So hopefully, like we'll actually like have like a good chunk of Sonic movie 4 just focused on Amy and like developing her as a character, seeing
Yeah,
her.
it because in this movie, you gotta focus on humans, and this one they focus on Eggman a lot, which is out of all the humans, okay, I want to focus on them. So I'm wondering if we're gonna go back to Tom and the wife in Sonic Movie 4.
Yeah, like at that point, it's like it's time for you to be Uncle Ben.
Yeah, because I don't want them to be a part of Sonic Movie 4. Like don't get me wrong, they were good in Sonic Movie 3. Like their moments were necessary. All right, they served the plot. They didn't take the camera away from anyone. They had a couple of jokes, but it didn't last too long.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
I'm
feel like
hoping that the B plot in Sonic Movie 4 isn't just like the humans taking the camera away from the main heroes.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. I don't need like, what they did in Sonic Movie 2 where they just stopped the plot for like a wedding comedy.
Yeah. Also, we gotta think who is making these Sonic robots, because if it is gonna take place in the future, it's like, who's gonna make them? Is it gonna be a more evil Eggman, or are they gonna make like their own like unique villain?
Hmm.
'Cause I wouldn't
That,
mind having them make a unique villain, because for the most part, Eggman had always been the villain throughout the entire game. He has always been like the catalyst to like the big bad. So having another evil scientist, like more evil Eggman, Eggman nigga, that. So that's another way they could either like bring in Jim Carrey again, or have someone else play Eggman.
hmm Yeah, you can do something like that. I don't know. It's just I don't know much about the Sonic lore to really like know like who could be the villain or like who could be the one that is building these.
Yeah,
Because
because Eggman makes Metal Sonic. That's that's this whole thing. And so have another scientist make it. The only other scientist, Eggman nigga.
yeah. Oh, you said it. You're getting
Uh,
in camp.
I'm gonna bleep it out.
You got canceled, bud.
Whatever. I bleeped it out. You can't cancel me if it bleeped out.
Hehe.
But
um.
yeah, that's the only other scientist. I can't think of anyone else really.
Uh,
I highly doubt they're gonna bring in Doctor Starlight from the comics, cause no one knows who that. None of the normies read the comics. So if it's another scientist, it had to be Eggman nigga.
meh. Well, my friend said that maybe it could have been the henchman.
Doctor Stone.
Yeah, because he's a doctor too.
If it takes place in the future, maybe he got embittered and decided to like try to take over the world or something. But I'm not sure, cause I feel like he's also done. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll come back in Sonic Movie 4 as a good guy to Sonic, but I highly doubt he will like come back as a villain.
I don't think so either. It's like the way that they concluded him. He
There
was.
is um another Eggman relative called Snively.
Oh,
He's also from the comics and from Sonic SatAM. He is Eggman's nephew. So maybe Snively could be the next big bad.
yeah, you could do that because I don't really see Doctor Stone being the big bad. I mean, like in Sonic One, when like the thing is that when Doctor Eggman goes missing, this guy shuts down. He like worked at a latte. I mean, he worked at like a coffee shop when in Sonic Movie 2 before like, Dr. Eggman returned to Earth. So this guy kind of shuts down. He doesn't go on a vengeance mission. He just sort of moves on and is depressed about his boyfriend.
Yeah, so I highly doubt he's gonna be the big baddie in Sonic Movie 4. It's either gonna be or Snively. If we were gonna do like scientist stuff, especially with Metal Sonic. There could have been other villains, maybe, if we didn't do Metal Sonic, perhaps. But since we're gonna do a Sonic CD, it's gonna have to be a scientist with with those two.
Like I feel like this scene is going to be like in the beginning of the movie, or like somewhere, because it's a good post-credit scene, but it's kind of like what they did in the first Sonic movie, the way that they did the end credits. Tails was the one that appears in the end credits, and then he goes back. But then in Sonic Movie 2, we had it's kind of like another copy paste scene from the end credits.
Yeah, same thing happened here in Sonic Movie 3, where they open up with Shadow breaking out of Prison Island.
Yeah, so it's like they would have to do the same thing in Sonic Movie 4. Like they would have to have him like be running around for whatever reason, and then like he suddenly bumps into Amy, and then like this happens. He sees.
Yeah, it'll probably open up with them. Maybe it'll be like another musical montage of them, of Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails running through the forest. We get to introduce them. They get their own special moment to like do whatever. And then after the title drops, or after the music stops, it will like fade into like nighttime. We get to see this scene again with the end credits again. Probably reanimated, maybe fleshed out a little bit more, and then we get to see Amy comes in, save the day, introduces you to I'm Amy Rose, and you need to come with me if you want to live. Some sort of Terminator reference, because that's what they're always gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, goddamn well they're gonna make a lot of Terminator and time travel reference because if they do time travel,
Yeah, I gotcha. Um, okay, so you know what's kind of funny? If they do actually commit to like Sonic being the simp one, I could definitely see this scene like completely reanimated where like she takes down her cloak and then like it's kind of like the stereotypical like there's a romantic song in the background. Suddenly everything turns pink. We get a close up to her face and then Sonic is like, uh like I can totally see that happening if they are committed to having him be the simp. Like this is going to be like the part where like he falls in love and
yeah. It's
then
just that I don't want that to be his character in the movie either. Similar how we don't want Amy's character to just be the simp for Sonic. I don't want Sonic to be the simp all the time for Amy. I don't want him to like be cocky, like, hey, did you see how I blew up that robot? Yeah, no big deal. You know, I didn't even break a sweat with that one. Anyway, what are you doing later?
yeah, it's like I but the thing is that that also kind of feels like Sonic too because he kind of is like this a lot.
Yeah, because like, I gotta remember, this song is completely different from video game. This song is a lot more cringy, a lot more kiddish. So what I just said, hell, they may well just take that verbatim and run with it.
Yeah, it's like that's exact I think like he has done stuff like that before in both this movie and like the other movie. So it's like no, I would definitely see him doing that and then like Amy being like what's wrong with him? Like what's his problem? And I
Yeah,
don't know, I
I could
feel
definitely see like a moment where like Sonic like run like he like lifting weights, make it look like, yeah, you know, getting a little like bicep curls, you know, nothing big deal. Amy rolls her eyes, and then later on, when Sonic actually does something heroic, and Amy was like, "Oh well, hold on, maybe he's not too bad."
yeah, like that. Like I'll see that and I don't know like the thing is that look, I don't mind her being a damsel in distress. I really don't. But like the way that I see it is that they'll probably will have her be a damsel in distress at one point. That's fine. I feel like when she does become the damsel in distress, that's when like she'll start to actually have feelings for him. And I mean, like it's fine because like in the beginning of the movie, she saves him, so it's like they kind of
They're on
repay.
equal footing.
Huh?
It'll be on equal footing. You know,
Yeah,
she
it's like
saves him, and he saves her.
yeah, so it's kind of like a power duo. It's like
It would.
maybe
Ooh, that would be kind of cute though, because like here, Amy saves Sonic, and then that's when he falls in love with her. Later on, when Sonic saves Amy, that's when she falls in love with him.
yeah, that'd be kind of cute. But look, at the same time, it's like, look, I wouldn't want him to simp. I don't want him to do like the cringy simp stuff. Like
He's
it,
going to, especially with this Sonic's humor.
yeah, like most likely that's what's going to happen. But look, if you're going to do that, make it as less cringy as possible. And like, I want like her to have at least like some attraction to him too. Like, I don't know, like. I don't want her to be like, oh, you're weird. Like, stop, get away from me. You're just weird. Just for her to like
Yeah, you're lucky I need you alive. Otherwise, you will meet the other end of my hammer.
yeah, it's like no, like I would prefer. You haven't watched TMNT 2012, but there is like a couple in TMNT 2012 that does do what we're kind of like theorizing Sonic would do. It's Mikey and Renette, and at first like Mikey is trying to impress her and doing all these things, but Renette is actually a sweet girl, and she actually thinks that it's funny, and she thinks it's kind of cute that he's trying to flirt with her. And at first, like she kind of thinks of it as like a joke, and she even says like, "Hey, like it's funny, but you got to chill for a little bit." But the more she got to know him, the more she's like, "Okay, okay, I kind of like you too." And but like there was no creepy moments. There wasn't any cringy moments. These were just two teenagers just, having a conversation with each other, getting to know each other, and just starting to both flirt with each other. It's that's what I wish would happen. Like that's what I want to see. Like if you're going to have like Sonic do that type of flirting, let Amy just either play back. Like let
Yeah,
her.
play off of him, like play to like his comedic stuff. Don't just like brush it aside, make it feel like he's just the annoying kid character. No, have fun with it. You know, throw some humor back at him.
Yeah, it's like let them play with
Similar
each.
to how, okay, they're gonna be like kind of weird, but like you know how in Team Four Star when Goku will say a joke and Frieza will just brush it off, but when Goku tells a joke to Cell plays off of it.
Oh yeah, like that's yeah, like don't do a Goku and Frieza, do a Goku and Cell. That's what we need.
They are phytosexual.
Yeah. So like that's what I want. That's what I wish is going would happen, but like I can guarantee you it's going to be the cringe where he's like simping for her, trying to flirt with her, and she's like, "Ugh, you're so annoying." But then she'll still like fall in love with him at the end, which for me, like I find that worse. I find that a little bit more like I don't want to say problematic, but I feel like
It's like, oh,
negative.
you saved me. You won me over. Even though I don't like your personality, I owe you my life now.
For me, it's like the girl is, or like the person at the who is like on the other side, who's like receiving all these flirting messages. They're telling like the person first, you're making me uncomfortable. First, second, I don't like you that way. Third, I don't like how you treat me this way, and I would prefer you to stop doing that. Like it's not going to happen. Like they usually establish that in the beginning of the romance, or like when the guy when the person is like doing all these stuff, but then they get saved at the end and they realize, oh well, maybe you're not as bad as I thought you were. Maybe I was the problem this entire time. Maybe I was too harsh on you, and maybe you are as nice as I am. It's like, don't do that. Look, like if the person says stop at the beginning, just stop. Like they clearly do not like it. Like I would, and that's why, like, I want Sonic and Amy to play with each other. I want them to actually be like, friendly with each other. If Sonic is going to like start doing all this stupid things, let Amy either recognize that, oh, like you're what you're doing, but like let her.
Oh, you're just a goofball. You know, I think it's cute that you're trying to flirt with me, but seriously, we have to like save the world.
Yeah, like let her do that. Like that's what I want to see, because it's like, okay, she recognizes that what you're doing. Like she'll try to like let him know, nicely, that hey, like it's kind of funny and I'm a little flattered by it, but like come on, let's get serious, okay? But let's just stay friends for now, okay? And Sonic can like be like, okay, fine, like let's put this on pause, and like he you know, focuses. Like that's what Mikey and Renette did. It's like there was even like a moment where like Renette says like, "Hey, like, aren't you like as a joke, because like she's also a time traveler. She's from the future. She like says like, Mikey, aren't you a little too old for me? I'm not even born yet." But like that was her way of like teasing him to like focus on the mission. And but then again, like later on when they start to get to know each other more and they're helping each other out more, that's when she starts to like reciprocate the flirting. That's when she decides to give him a peck on the cheek to show that oh, like I like you back. That's what I wish would happen in with Sonic and Amy. I want something that cute.
Yeah, that sounds cute. It's just that I don't want whoever's writing this to like. It's so easy to like fuck up a like romance like this, especially if they make it cringy, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hate Sonic Movie 4 because it's gonna have Amy, it's gonna have Metal Sonic. I don't want to have it be like, all right, let's watch Sonic Movie 4, but then we gotta chug through all the cringy shit.
Yeah, it's like no, like again, like I would prefer if it's just a cute romance, or like, or I don't know, like this could be like the one where it's like they don't flirt with each other. There is no romance. They're just platonic friends.
That could be it, cause like I know it's gonna like yes, like Amy does love Sonic and everything. Like she is supposed to be like the love interest for Sonic and everything. But I wouldn't be opposed to them just being friends and like battle buddies and stuff like that. because Amy has been like she's been put to the sideline for years. It's only in recent time where it feels like it went from a trio to a squad where like it used to be like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Now it's Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy.
I think we basically dedicated a huge part of Sonic 3 to not even talking about Sonic 3. We're just making fanfic at this point.
I mean, you know, I'll book stamp this and see how much we talked about Amy and like the ending. Real quick, and still talking about the fanfic part. It could be a thing where like Sonic gets jealous of Amy, that Amy is taking all the spotlight away from him and stuff like that, and then at the end like they kind of fall in love with each other.
That could work with either both the love story and platonic friends thing. That could be good for both. Because, well, I mean, like, I don't know how fast Amy is, but like judging by like how she took on the Metal Sonics, like she took them out before Sonic could even react.
Yeah, like she used her hammer. It wasn't a spin dash. It was like her hammer. But yeah, it could be a situation where like everyone's liking Amy, or like they're like, oh, I was saved by a girl.
Yeah, or something like that. Well, I don't know. Like, is Sonic? Well, in the movie, is Sonic sexist?
No, I mean the only other female in there is like the girl, the wife.
Hmm.
So
But
I don't think so. I think in this one they'll probably make song more progressive. You know, this isn't the '90s anymore. But something like that. But like either way, I just hope that they don't make their relation, they either do the relationship right or don't do it at all.
yeah, I agree with that. Very much agree with that. But it's kind of funny how we ended up in the right timeline. Like, imagine if we were at the timeline where we kept the original CG model.
That everyone was talking about that. It's like imagine if they didn't listen to the fans. Imagine if they just kept on going. We would have gotten like ugly Shadow and ugly Amy.
I think at this point there wouldn't be enough money to,
No, it would. Sonic Movie 1 wouldn't even get off the ground. It'll come out in theaters. People will laugh at it, like not laughing with it, but laughing at it. And then it wouldn't have be the success as it is today. It would just be another bad video game movie.
exactly. I mean, like for me, like Sonic Movie 1, it's like I'll be honest, I didn't like Sonic Movie 1. It wasn't until like Sonic Movie 2 that's when I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm
because Sonic Movie 1, you had to start from somewhere. You had to like introduce Sonic. You had to introduce Eggman. And then when Sonic Movie 2 came out, we could get to see characters that we care about with like with Knuckles and Tails. I was like, all right, now let's get into it. Then now with Sonic Movie 3, everyone's like favorites Edgelord, Shadow the Hedgehog, and now with Sonic Movie 4, we're gonna get Mel, Sonic, and Amy. And then we might even get like more people. Like if we're gonna involve time travel, maybe Silver, But I feel like Silver will come in later because they already introduced Iblis with Knuckles. So I feel like Silver might come in Sonic Movie 5 to like come and kill Knuckles to at least to like prevent Iblis or something like that. But we might get like Metal Overlord, which is Metal Sonic's like big boss form.
all right. So it's like yeah, it's like we're in the right timeline, Sonic. So you see, sometimes it's okay to bully somebody. You see what it does. Well, you see what happens when we all band together and bully somebody to change their mind. We make progress.
Yeah, that's the only time it works. But yeah, that's Sonic Movie 3. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any loose ends?
No, I think we mostly got everything out.
Yeah, overall, I have to say this movie is at least a 9 out of 10. Some scenes could have been cut, but the scenes that we did get was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but these have been our opinions. What do y'all think? Did you like the movie? Did you not like it? Are you excited for Sonic Movie 4, Amy, Metal Sonic, and whoever's going to show up next? Let me know in the comments down below. This has been Too Fast Joe.
And Generation Defenders.
Remember, go fast, don't be last.
And stay unhinged.
Bye.
Bye.